This is Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
It's the Morning Majlis.
It's the Morning Majlis.
Talking the stories that are shaping headlines, plus those that make you go,
Hello, good morning and welcome onto the Morning Majlis. We are talking and celebrating and even discussing the historic mission of the United Arab Emirates. We'll be sharing a couple of interesting facts about the launch. The country's joined the race to Mars with three elite group of nations. So it is going to be a very, very important occasion for us. We're collecting lots of data. One of the reasons why we're going up there is to understand the changes that our planet has been going through, what Mars has been going through, and can we eventually live on Mars? Because Omar Al-Busaidi, former host of Future Talk, said, I want to move to Mars. I want to do Future Talk from Mars. Well, we can. Well, let's see what the Hope Probe finds out for us. But today in the program, it's going to be a very busy show. We've got lots of interviews lined up, as well as the person that we've been bigging up a lot for his presidential bid has actually hosted his first event.
Yes, he has hosted his first campaign rally, and commentators are weighing in. Analysts are talking about it, media outlets as well, and it was a bizarre event. It was a very strange event. It was unlike any rally you've ever seen. We'll talk about why that is, what happened during this rally, and the logistics of Kanye West's campaign. What are the odds that he would in fact be voted president? Would he somehow shape the outcome of the election by siphoning votes away from either candidate? Stay tuned as we discuss those developments.
Ahmed, he even said every person that has a baby should get $1 million.
He did.
He said that, right?
He said that, and he said that in tears as well. And we'll talk about exactly why he said that, because that topic is very personal to him.
Very sensitive. Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, we're going to talk about all things positive impact on society, how to make a positive impact on society. And in line with that, Sharjah Social Services Department launched a group of projects and initiatives that support social responsibility programs. And that launch comes in cooperation with government entities, public benefit entities, and private sector institutions, in addition to contributions from community members. So stay tuned for that conversation.
Well, stay tuned for our conversation. And if you are one of those that prefer a visual experience, so we're live on our platforms on YouTube. So join us over there. And if you've missed the live stream as well, you can always catch up with us on our daily video podcast / highlights that we do on our YouTube page. Pulse 95 Radio is where you can catch it. So you must have also caught the live stream of the Hope Probe on our Instagram as well. Lots of people were tuning in, which was very, very good to see. So we will be returning right after the short break, and up next we'll be talking about someone who I've tried to apply for the position as press secretary for, and hopefully get $1 million from his campaign as well. I never know. Well, stay tuned to Pulse 95.
This is Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
It's the Morning Majlis.
It's the Morning Majlis.
Hello and welcome back on to the Morning Majlis. This is a very, very important day. We have to mark it in our calendars, and that's it. It is marked already. July 20th. It's a big day. July 20th, 2020. The first Emirati and Arab space mission to Mars has blasted off aboard a rocket from Japan with its unmanned probe called Al-Amal, or Hope, successfully separating after an hour after liftoff.
Yep, as per the recent announcement, the UAE Space Agency and Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center have announced that the ground control station in Al Khawanij received the first transmission from the Hope probe at 3:10 a.m. and after the liftoff, it is going to be on board or on its 495 million kilometer long journey to do the complete orbit of Mars. It is going to be sending back some interesting facts for you, about 1 terabyte of data over 2 years. It is also going to be traveling at speeds of up to 18,000 kilometers an hour. It's going to cruise on that as soon as it reaches the orbit. And it can go as cold as minus 270 degrees Celsius. So it's not going to be too cold for it, hopefully. It's going to be a very interesting probe, and we've joined the elite group of nations. But it's going to be a remarkable feat.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a leap for the United Arab Emirates as far as
course.
technology is concerned and developing the capabilities of engineers here in the UAE, as the team behind the mission has partnered with various academic institutions in the United States to design instruments, equipment for deep space probes, and train our citizens in the country to take on an ambitious scientific mission.
In addition to that, Hope is expected to reach Mars orbit by February of 2021, which also marks the 50th anniversary of the unification of the UAE.
Yep, it's a very proud moment. So now let's hear from a couple of people that the local media had been interviewing. So shout out to all print journalists who were down there yesterday and speaking to a number of spokespeople. So first up, we have the instrument science engineer of the Emirates Mars mission, Fatima Luther, who spoke to Khaleej Times yesterday. And then this is what she had to say in terms of what happens next now that the liftoff has happened. This is what she had to say.
So first off, when the telemetry starts coming in, definitely we have representatives of each subsystem and each instrument to make sure that doing specific things such as health checks on these subsystems, making sure everything is operating as it should. So the team is continuously monitoring all the subsystems and instruments that are going to be on board of Hope probe until it does actually reach to Mars. Okay, so basically with all space missions, you never have a definite launch date. We have something what we call a launch period. So a launch period usually consists of several weeks in which launch is viable, and it will give us a successful mission in the sense of achieving the scientific data and etc. So this kind of delay is completely normal and happens a lot in missions. As long as we're within the launch window, that's what matters.
Yep, up next, we're going to be also hearing from His Excellency Omar bin Sultan Al Ulama, who is the UAE Minister of State for Artificial Intelligence. And he spoke about how the country overcame the challenge of COVID-19. And it was a little bit of a setback for the team to prepare for this launch. And this is what he had to say.
There's a lot of excitement and anticipation as well. This is a huge undertaking. As you know, there are 3 countries that are aiming for Mars this year, which include the United States and China and the United Arab Emirates. Being among these great giants in this space industry and being a newcomer and an underdog in this industry really shows a lot. It also shows that the ambitions of the UAE are at par and might even exceed some of the biggest countries on earth. Countries that actually have a legacy in the space sector. It was delayed twice for natural reasons. At the end of the day, we can't control nature yet. The biggest disruptor, I think, for the whole program was COVID-19. As you know, the team itself had to work backwards from the date just to ensure that everything goes to Japan and arrives to the destination before the launch period. And also that COVID-19 and the closure of borders does not affect the launch and does not affect the mission itself. So far, thanks to the proper planning from the teams and also the efforts that really they put and the countless sleepless nights that they've gone through, we do hope that everything is in order, and we do hope as well that this mission is a great success.
Yeah, lots of hopes, carrying lots of hopes, this Hope probe. And in terms of hope, it's now brought in this idea that the United Arab Emirates can create a core team of future interplanetary missions. Now, what's going to come up next is what Dr. Ahmed bin Houl Al Falasi, the Minister of State for Entrepreneurship and Small and Medium Enterprises, had to say that what this probe is now going to fuel. And this is our bright future, and in the words of Dr. Ahmed bin Houl Al Falasi.
So again, there are many. The universe is unlimited, and there's so many missions to look into. As I said before, today our main mission was not only to launch the Hope probe, but our main mission, our number one mission, was to create a core team that's able to work on future interplanetary missions. That is achieved today. Now, I cannot disclose exactly what the project will be doing, but if you look at the global community right now, the global community led by the US is now looking into the moon as a stepping stone to Mars. So there's a big project called the Artemis project. It focuses on that. We haven't decided yet. We are at a position where we are able to decide whatever we want, because alhamdulillah we have our capability. But that is I would say, the space community heading to right now.
Yeah, but it's going to be a very, very important occasion for us. We'll definitely remember this date and celebrating a number of anniversaries with it as well. We wish the entire team of the UAE Space Agency and Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center all the very best. Emirati engineers all the very best. And it's a very proud moment here that we're celebrating on Pulse 95. Well, stay tuned. After the business headlines, we shall be returning and continuing the discussions right here on Pulse 95.
Pulse 95. Pulse 95.
The heart of Sharjah.